Quick little video for you with some good news, and it has to do with campaign finance reform, which is obviously an important topic for both myself and the Young Turks company that I work for. The next time you hear someone talking about campaign finance reform, if you hear a candidate talking about it or you hear a debate about it, it's not simply opened for debate what people actually want to be done when it comes to campaign finance reform. Perhaps on some specifics, but largely, no, it's not an open debate. People want less money in politics, and here's the proof for you. This is a recent Bloomberg poll. 78% of those responding said the Citizens United ruling should be overturned. Now, if you're not familiar with Citizens United, that is the Supreme Court case. It was a 5-4 decision just a few years ago that effectively allowed unlimited spending on political parties and raising of money to be spent in elections. And the most significant particular outcome of this is the rise of super PACs. Now, super PACs are not necessarily that new, but in terms of their power, their ability to compete in many ways with the actual candidates themselves, with the actual parties themselves, that is a direct result of Citizens United, and the American public is not having it. Now, this is extremely good news from my point of view, because as important as campaign finance reform is, and I do think that it is the bedrock underneath which all other potential changes to policy rests, you don't necessarily think that people are paying much attention to it, but thankfully they are. It's not 55% aren't sure, and some are against it, and some are for it. 78% say that it should be overturned. Now, is that what we're going to get? Does it matter what the American public actually wants? In far too many cases, it simply doesn't. I mean, they're debating defunding Planned Parenthood. Doesn't matter that there's overwhelming support for it. Expanded background checks is one of the most popular issues that you can bring up. Doesn't matter, we're probably not going to get it. And so 78% of people wanting it to be overturned, that isn't necessarily going to be enough. It's not going to be enough, for instance, for Larry Lessig to get their support, because there's obviously other issues. But this shows that those of us, like all of the volunteers for Wolfpack who are doing work in states around the country to try to get these campaign finance laws changed, are on the right side, not just of history, but also of the American public. They're fighting for something that is not only important, but also extremely favored by the American public. Now, unfortunately, while 78% are against Citizens United and want it overturned, that isn't going to have a big impact on the politicians if the mainstream media never reports it, which they haven't. Now, we're going to be talking about this today on the Young Turks, but I want you to spread the results of this Bloomberg poll, either in the form of this video or if you want to track down, perhaps on Media Matters, one of the articles talking about it. People need to know about this. It needs to go viral, whatever it takes for CNN and MSNBC to make it a priority to let people know that their neighbors are against this. If they don't know about Citizens United, they need to do their research, because it is wrecking our democracy and it needs to go.